Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And today we're going to be talking all about candle magic.
Fiery candle magic.
So you know what really goes hand in hand with
Waxy.
candle magic? Color magic.
Yes, it really does.
You know,
but they can also be used separately.
They could totally be used separately. Like, let's say a spell calls for a certain colored candle. Well, if you don't have that certain colored candle, but you have a white tea light, that'll work just as well.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because you can use color magic in your candle magic when doing it, but you can also just use any candle you want and work intuitively and intentionally that way as well.
Exactly.
But at the same time, in candle magic, every candle color can hold its own intention. Like blue can be used for tranquility and meditation. Yellow can be used for like setting an intention, and I don't remember the other.
For me, yellow is happiness.
Oh yeah, to me, like, no, it was like specifically in candle magic, there are certain associations. I do color magic intuitively like that. Like, for me, this color is this. For me, this color is that. Because I do, like, all of my magic intuitively.
The path is unique to
everybody. Yeah, it's unique to everybody. And that's why I didn't actually, like, write down, like, in candle magic, this color is this and this color is that. Because, like, there's certain things that are kind of universal, but at the same time it may not resonate with you, in which case don't use it.
For example,
like green is for healing or earth magic or prosperity magic.
Well, I was going to use
also be for healing.
I was going to use green as an example. So green is often used for prosperity, but so can brown. Brown can be used for prosperity.
Yeah,
from
and
the
gold
earth
can be used for prosperity. Gold and silver, bless you. Which gold and silver candles are expensive, guys, so I mean, if you feel the need, go for it, but you don't need. And we'll get into that. You okay?
I'm okay.
Still sneezing?
No.
Gotcha. Sorry. But like, so, like I was saying, like healing, blue can be for healing, green can be for healing, purple can be for psychic healing. Blue can be for the goddess, so can purple. You know what I mean? Like you can find different like places that'll tell you different things. Although like almost everybody will say white is for purity and protection.
Or it can be used universally for whatever you have. Black is very similar. Black is for banishing and for
protection.
And it can also be used universally.
And then again, if you have an intention you want to work on, and you have a candle of any color or any scent or whatever, that works universally as well, guys. Just because you have a thought in mind about X, Y, or Z doesn't mean that it has to go that way. If you feel it needs to, that's different, because that's what I would call working intuitively. There are certain things that I feel need to happen with things that other people are like, well, that's silly, why don't you just... Well, because I feel the need. And so when I say working intuitively, that is what I mean, personally speaking. Like, if I'm working intuitively, I'm working with the things that resonate with me. So if I'm doing something, if I'm looking for a specific intention and I think, oh, blah, 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 and then somewhere in me goes, no, you need X, Y, Z. I'm going with the somewhere in me that goes with X, Y, Z, because to me, that is my intuition telling me the right way to go. But at the same time, if you don't work intuitively and you need that guide, you can look all this stuff up online, like what color for this specific intention, blah, 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 blah. Not that it's blah, 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 blah. I hope you guys know what I mean.
Well, and I feel like candle magic is a good starter for those getting into casting spells or things like that.
Right.
It's it's very simple. It's the basic 101 with witchcraft.
Right. Like the simple, easiest way to do candle magic. You get a candle. Whatever candle you feel like getting. Whatever scent or color or what have you. You set your intention into the candle, and then You burn the candle and let the candle use that energy. Now, you don't have to let it burn all the way out.
Well, and that's
You can do it for a short period of time every day, the same time every day, for a specific number of days. You can set your own thing with it, and that's the beauty of candle magic,
It
in
is.
my opinion.
For like my personal favorite is to use tea light candles. You can get colored, you can get scented, or you can use plain white and add your own. I prefer to use them because I know they're gonna burn all the way through in 4 hours, around 4 hours.
Yeah. I personally like chime candles. I love the way they look. Chime candles are these skinny, like when you picture the candles in a witchcraft store, you probably picture the skinny little candles in a bunch of different colors. Those are chime candles, and that is like, I
love them. I love them.
love
I don't have a candle holder for them.
Truth, they are hard to
They
find.
are so hard to
holders
find a
for.
candle holder for.
I have a menorah, which I have realized I don't feel like I can use for non-ritualistic purposes, but I could totally use it for a ritualistic purpose. Granted, I don't know that it's exactly the right size for chime candles, because you know what? Menorah candles have their own special size and everything.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
Well,
frustratingly
That's candle
specific.
magic in its own.
It is. It really is. It really is. And so there's ways that you can dress up your candle magic, and you can look up specific ways to do so as well. But, you know, you can dress up your own candle magic by getting a white candle and dressing it with oils and herbs if you so choose.
I do want to say a disclaimer right here. Don't leave your candle if you're going to
Ever.
dress it with herbs and oils unattended.
Don't ever leave
This-
a candle burning unattended, period, point blank.
Right,
It's
right.
a fire hazard.
It totally is.
Yeah.
And I actually knew someone who was trying to. I got to tell the tale. I got to
yes,
tell the tale because it's
please.
so
I
fucking
remember
funny.
this.
I don't know if I've told it before. I may
Maybe, I can't
have.
remember.
Can't remember. But this person that I knew was trying to do some baneful magic. Don't recommend.
Karma.
And he had to take his dog outside to go to the bathroom, and he left the candles going on his altar. When he did so, which I probably would have done too if I'm being honest with you, you're just going outside,
Right, yeah.
you know, and you'll be right back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I
he
agree.
starts hearing this noise, and he thinks it's
Beep, beep, beep,
he thinks it's a truck backing up.
beep, beep.
He's like, damn, this truck has been backing up for a while. Ow, it hurts to laugh. Oh my god. And then he's like, holy shit. That's not a fucking truck.
My altar's on fire.
It's a fucking fire alarm. So he like, ow, it hurts. I'm sorry, guys. I'm cramping horribly and it hurts to laugh. TMI. Oh, that's the only way I can laugh without it hurting. I'm so sorry. So he like throws
wanted to
the
seem like I'm
dog.
trying not to laugh right now.
Sorry. So he throws the dog in the house, and knowing this person, he probably threw. Stop! Because that's exactly what I was gonna say. Was knowing this person, he probably did. I'm sorry, guys. I am sorry. It's the only way I can laugh.
Oh.
Anyway, knowing this person, I feel like that's probably what the fuck
yeah.
happened.
And he
So he runs to check on his altar, and the fucking wall's like on fire, bro. I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him when he told me how bad it was until he sent me a picture of the altar cloth, the tarot cards. Shit was coal, like charcoal. It was burnt to a fucking crisp, and you can't tell me that's unrelated.
Karma.
So,
bitch.
if you want to avoid that, don't do baneful magic without thinking it through.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
But also, never leave your candles unattended.
Not even to
And
take out your dog.
If you need to put out your candle in your candle magic, the only appropriate way, and I'm going to say only appropriate way, is to snuff it out. If you blow the flame out, you are blowing your intentions away. However, if you choose, because I do choose sometimes, I choose to spread my intentions by blowing the candle out, but I am intentionally doing that. Does that make sense? But that's mostly like when the intention is not a personal thing, when it's like for the greater good or whatever. Then I will blow it to spread it. But otherwise, you don't want to blow out your candle from candle magic, because everything that I have ever read about it is you're blowing your intentions away.
You know, I have heard that too. I think it depends on the person and what you personally believe, because I have heard that. I have. But to me, I kind of classify that right up there with you shouldn't buy your first tarot deck. I didn't buy my first tarot deck. I like subscribing to that. I don't want to use the term superstition, but you get what I'm saying. That's maybe the best thing to call it. I personally don't subscribe to the don't blow your candle away, but I know plenty of, or blow out your candle. I know plenty of witches who do. And if you want to find a candle snuffer that's not expensive, Dollar Tree has them for $1.
Also, you can find amazing ones at like Red Racks, Goodwill, whatever, those kinds of stores. They'll have like fancy brass.
Oh yeah, they have like some really nice
I bought
ones.
like 3 nice ass ones.
Is that what you use to do your candle, or?
I have no idea where my husband motherfucking put them. Sorry, I was just yelling at him near Christmas because one of them has holly on it. No, I put something over the top of it. I am not a brave snuff it out with the fingers type of person. Yeah, I can't do that.
That's scary.
No. I've done it before, but you know what? I ain't about that life no more. I usually find something most of the time I take a metal ashtray and I cover wherever the candle is. And it just smothers the flame. Yeah. Now, unless it is like a candlestick. And then I like to find something to use as a snuffer if I don't know where my snuffer is. Or I will dramatically walk around with that bitch and let nature take its course. I don't feel like that's the same as blowing it out. Like walking fast with it. You know, like I'll let the wind take care of it. It works, right?
I think so. I think that totally works.
Yeah, because in my head, and again, like here's the thing. Everything's about intention. Right? With magic, it's all about intention.
Oh, absolutely.
So when I'm intentionally allowing the elements to let the fire go out because that's the safest thing for it to happen, it's not blowing my intentions away. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's my view on that piece of it. And like Maddie said, like if you're dressing a candle with oil, which oil burns, and dried herbs, because dried herbs burn, it can be a fire hazard. So you should be around that kind of candle flame at all times. Like a candle like this, I'll walk in and out of the room all the time.
You know what I see as a candle maker? I know this, but like
my next thing was going to be about candles that have those elements in it. They also can. Because I've seen there's long, conscientious.
Right, there's those long pillar candles like that. They can't see them, but those. And on the top.
Hurricane candles.
Right, well, on the top, people just put all sorts of shit in them. Right. And they don't realize when you dress the large candles like this, that glass gets really hot real fast, and that's a good way to shatter your candle. Yep. I don't know how the fuck people are still selling candles with shit like that on top.
Yeah, like those specific exactly ones. What I was thinking, because the ones that I've gotten other than candles from you that have like herbs in them, they were A, all in glass containers, but B, the herbs were in ways that they caught on fire. Now, I will say, like, my kids and husband made me candles that had flower petals in them, and those also were close enough to catch on fire, but they don't make them professionally. They did it one year for Mother's Day.
Well, and the people
and you're the one that taught me, like, the professional people that do that are not professional.
Right, no. Like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do a specific amount. Make sure you don't get it to a certain space. And even then, sometimes my lavender will catch, but that's because lavender's really flammable compared to
it's got a lot of oil in it, even when dry.
Exactly.
And again, oil is flammable, which is why I'm mentioning both dressing with oil and herbs. Not not just one, like, or the other. Like, they both can be on their own, is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to have the herbs along with the oil for the oil to be, like, a hazard.
So one of my favorite things.
I'm not saying don't do it. Fucking do it.
Yeah,
man.
totally do it.
Grow some balls and fucking do it. Just watch your shit.
One of
Being
the
playful. Something.
one of the things that I like to do is I'll either take a piece of paper or something and I'll draw a pinnacle and then I'll write my intentions down on that piece of paper and then I'll put a candle right on top, let it burn out.
And or you can burn it in something safe like a metal ashtray with
Or a
that
cauldron.
candle flame. Right, and you're using that because candle magic is, it's got all 4 elements right there in the candle for you. You've got solid wax for earth, you've got the fire for fire, you've got the melted wax for water, and the air feeding the flame is your air. You've got all 4 elements like included in whatever you're doing, which is why, as Maddie was saying, like candle magic is great for beginners to the craft, period, point blank.
Well, and not I mean, it's great to a place to start, but every witch practices candle magic.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I practice it and I don't at the same time. Like, I incorporate it in my practice it all ways without realizing it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, candles are almost always the fire in my, you know, sometimes I let incense be the sole thing that represents fire as well as air and earth, and then water is represented otherwise. But I almost always have a candle when I'm doing any kind of working. But also you can do candle magic where, you know, like, or I'm sorry, another component of candle magic is the flame. You pay attention to what the flame does. Like, especially if you're doing something, like, let's say you're going to light this candle every day at 5 o'clock. You know, you light it at 5 o'clock every single day for an hour. And you pay attention to what the flame does, because the flame allows you to divine with it, as well as the candle working its energy. Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because candle magic is great for beginners, but, you know, you can also, you don't always have to put it together. Like, you can put together your own with, you know, getting a white candle and putting oil and herbs on it. Or you can get a colored candle and dress it however you so choose. But if you're going to get like a spell candle, definitely do your research. Get it from somebody who's an actual practicing witch like Maddie. You know, Maddie sells spell candles at Peace, Love, and Tea
thank
Leaves.
you.
Oh,
Thanks.
absolutely. They are so amazing. I love your candles. And I know you don't sell it, but like every time I talk about how much I love your candles, I'm like, that coconut candle.
Thank you.
Fucking love that coconut
I really
candle.
appreciate that.
Like, I love that coconut candle. I still have the remnants of one floating around somewhere that I took from my husband, because my whole family loves the coconut candles and they all light that. Assholes. I can't keep anything away from those assholes. But if you're going to get spell candles, get them from someone who knows what they're doing, like a professional witch, like Maddie. Oh, you're a professional witch now.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Or like a professional candle maker at the very least, because they should know
the safe
what they
ways to
can and cannot do.
manufacture.
And make sure you read the fine print, because so a candle may look very pretty, like those giant pillar candle things. But just because it looks pretty doesn't mean you should light it. Some people sell quote-unquote spell candles for strictly decoration, which is very misleading.
You know what? There's a lot of decorative candles out there that if I didn't grow up with so many fucking decorative candles that were not made to be lit in my house, I might not know this. But there are, like, if you buy you a pretty ass fucking candle, yeah, Maddie's right. I never think to say that, but you do have to look and make sure it's okay to burn it. Like, dude, my parents had some fancy ass fucking candles when I was growing up. It's a good thing I was not a pyromaniac, man. Like, they would have been fucked. They'd have been fucked. But speaking of fancy ass candles, do you know that you can do even more with your candle magic? Such as You can carve runes or sigils
Oh,
into your
absolutely.
candles.
Or you could just carve words.
You can carve words. You absolutely
Like,
can.
if you don't know how to do ruins or sigils, or you don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable doing that, just carve the word protection into your candle.
Or maybe you're trying to cut a connection with somebody, because a lot of tie cutting spells or cord cutting spells involve a string between two candles. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I don't do a whole lot of them, guys, so like I've only seen. So I'm not trying to speak about what I don't know. Sorry, I'm just mentioning it because that is a huge piece of candle magic that I see a lot of people use. And like, but the runes, the runes, the sigils, the words, the symbols, like symbols are a huge part of the craft, guys. Like, if you haven't realized it yet, symbols are a huge part of the craft. You can carve the symbol for your goddess. You can carve a triple moon. You can carve almost anything you want to on a candle. You can use your athame. You can use your wand. You can use a special tool that you have otherwise to carve on your candle. You can carve on a candle with a pen. Wax is not the toughest thing in the world, guys. Use plant-based waxes that are best for the environment. I'm just going to say
well,
that.
and better for you. Paraffin wax is as bad for you as breathing in truck fucking exhaust. But soy wax, which is usually the cheapest, is totally fine. There's also beeswax, which is often more expensive.
I did not know that about paraffin wax.
Oh, paraffin wax is horrible for you and the environment.
Well, and beeswax is more expensive, but also beeswax is tougher, isn't it? Like, in consistency?
Beeswax is tougher.
But
if you're going to
you're
make
taking it from the
candles.
bees.
You're taking
No, I'm
it
just
from
kidding.
well,
I mean, I'm sort of kidding, but I'm not a
beeswax
vegan,
is
guys.
tougher. It has a higher melting point. So if you're going to make your own candles to begin with, I don't recommend beeswax. It's also harder to hold scent. So if you're going to be starting and you want to do something non-toxic, more natural, I highly suggest soy wax.
Now,
There's a
I
bunch of
will
other.
say, if you're making your own beeswax candles, they sell kits that have like beeswax sheets. My uncle actually had made, my Uncle Steve, when he passed away, I got like several things of his. And one thing I got was these candle holders that he got from Neiman Marcus, because Uncle Steve was fabulous and he shopped at Neiman Marcus. But they had red beeswax candles that he had made himself. Like, you roll the wick into the sheet and it rolls up. Yeah, it was really nice until Corey burned them bitches. Motherfucker. I know you don't listen, husband, but fuck you. Sorry, like,
candles.
Don't burn your wife's dead uncle's candles, guys. It's fucking... It's a party foul. Sorry, I've been on a roll lately about all the things from my dead relatives that he ruined, because he's been on a thing about, like, the kids better not mess up this stuff from his dad and his grandma. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And since he doesn't understand my bitch face, I have to, like, spell out for him what I'm annoyed about, you know, because... husbands, right?
Yep.
But yeah, like, beeswax candles are not necessarily the greatest for beginner makers unless you get a kit, which is really cool, and they burn just fine.
And
I know, because my husband sucks.
when all else fails, watch some YouTube tutorials. They totally have those available for those making candles.
Yeah. Or if you're lucky like me, you have Maddie that tells you how to set the wick, and eventually you stop cussing as much while you do it.
Yeah, it sucks. Sitting the wick is very difficult.
Yeah, like, if you're buying candles from somebody like Maddie or somebody else that, like, makes them themselves, just know that wick was a bitch.
Yeah, no, seriously, it really was.
Yeah.
Like, they suck.
They suck. They suck a lot. I'm not a fan of setting the wick. I do love the way this candle smells, though. But I'm like, should the wick be fat? Like, why is it not?
It just be doing that sometimes. I don't know.
This is like my 4th or 5th candle that I made, and like...
Mine do that sometimes too.
Do they? 'Cause, like,
I'm
really
going to be honest
annoyed.
with you. I think it's the recycled jar.
Really?
I think it's the jar that's the problem. Because it's not getting hot around here. It's only hot in the middle.
Huh. That's crazy. I know not much about it, but hey, you learn something every day. Sorry, this is my You're Grounded Buddy candle, and I do love that scent.
It smells really
It's on my
good.
fingers because I touched the wax not knowing how soft it was going to be, and it came right
Oh,
up.
shit, it is
Yeah,
pretty
it is
soft.
really soft. I was not expecting that. Like, yeah.
Well, I'm curious on if you guys practice candle magic. How do you
Yeah.
incorporate it into your craft?
Yeah,
Also,
like,
candles are great offerings.
they are great offerings. They really are. And, like, I'm sorry, but is there anything more beautiful? Yeah, I heard that too. Is there anything more beautiful than, like, those images in movies or something when you, like, go into the Catholic Church? And
Oh,
there's, like,
they're
that
gorgeous.
wall of
Candles
red
are used in, like,
candlelight.
every religion.
Oh,
They
I
really
know,
are.
but, like, the Catholics with that, like, purgatory thing, shit's pretty. Like, that wall with the red, they picked the right votive holder color.
I agree.
Like, red. Like, that is nice. Like, they got it going on. I don't know any other church that does necessarily that. Like, out in the Middle East and stuff, or in, like, Eastern religions, like,
Hindu.
there'd be candles everywhere. Yeah, shit's beautiful.
Buddhism. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Fucking beautiful. And candles are used, like, everywhere. So, like, do you have a favorite way to, like, I like to meditate with staring at a candle flame. It's nice.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
fun.
relaxing.
I do like that. I like to use it to set my intentions. That's my number one.
Yeah, yeah. Let us know in the comments here on YouTube what you like to do with candles, how you use them in your magic. Did you even think about the fact that you do candle magic because you use candles in your magic, but never thought about it before, like myself? Because that is true. When I suggested the episode, I was like, oh, I'll learn about candle magic. No, I do all the time.
I know. I feel that same, literally.
Silly Amber. Tricks are for kids. Hey Melissa, speaking of kids, you're our favorite cool kid over on Patreon. Thanks for being our supporter. And if you want to join Melissa on Patreon, you can find us on Patreon at Witches Talking Tarot, as well as Twitter at Classiest Witches, and Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot, Facebook at Witches Talking Tarot. Is that?
Yep. And
Yeah.
if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.